Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Tuesday, November 27, 2012. This is Texan TV News from Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas, and I am Winston Questenberry. In today's headlines, Tarleton State Choir will present annual holiday performance. Veteran Arlie Eccles receives the Outstanding Officer of the Year award. A wife seeks justice in death of her husband. Superstorm Sandy's New York damage are estimated at $42 billion. A warehouse fire kills 14 and injures 8 in Germany. And Keanu Perez brings you cinematic updates from the Big Screen Review. Now in today's top story. In campus news, according to Tarleton.edu, on Saturday, December 1st, the Tarleton State Choir will present their annual holiday performance of the Handel's Messiah. The annual tradition began December 3rd, 1980, and has continued for over 3 decades at the university. This year's performance will be made up of the Tarleton Choir, the Cross Timbers Civic Choral, the Fort Worth Symphony Orchestra, and will be directed by Dr. Troy Robertson. The choral is sponsored by Tarleton and the Cross Timbers Fine Arts Council, and still follows the same credo that was printed on the back of the original program. The box office is now selling the $12 tickets Monday through Friday from 2 to 6 p.m., or students can purchase tickets the day of the event at 6 p.m. In Stephenville news, on Monday, Arlie Eccles was honored at the Erath County Commissioners Court meeting, receiving a plaque for Outstanding Officer of the Year award from the Veterans County Service Centers Association of Texas. According to the Empire Tribune, after giving nearly 13 years of his service and time to the organization, Eccles spent 3 years of his service in South Korea as a chaplain in the 2nd Division Artillery. After returning home, he had the chance to get a degree in secondary certification from Tarleton, and after graduation, he worked for Stephenville ISD for 16 years. After retirement, Eccles got his start with the Veterans Service Center, and 10 years ago, Eccles took over as service officer. In state news, a woman whose husband was shot and killed while illegally crossing the border into El Paso may see justice Friday. A federal judge is expected to make the decision concerning the lawsuit that was filed against the U.S. government in 2007. Jose Alejandro Ortiz Castillo was shot by Border Patrol agent Brian Ernest Alt in August of 2007 when Ortiz and 3 others attempted to enter the U.S. illegally in El Paso. According to Border Patrol officials, Alt arrested one of the border crossers after shooting Ortiz. Then Ortiz picked up a rock and tried to attack him. They also said that between 1999 and 2002, Ortiz had been arrested 28 times for illegally crossing. The wrongful death lawsuit claims that the shooting was unjustified and unnecessary. And now today's Texas, national, and international news from the Associated Press. In national news, the state of New York and New York City has estimated a total of $42 billion in damages as a result of Hurricane Sandy. Both the state of New York and New York City have called for $9 billion to be put towards preventative measures for future storms similar to these plans, including protecting the power grids and cell phone networks. It is estimated that the most basic repairs of roads, schools, individual assistance, parks, and water networks total out to be $50 billion in New York City. It is projected that taxpayers in New York will see increases in the early part of 2013. In national news, a fire broke out in a warehouse for the disabled on Monday, 14 people killed and injuring 8 more in the Black Forest region of Germany. Authorities say the building was evacuated as quickly as possible, with over 100 firefighters on the scene. The building normally runs with an average of 120 people present at a time. Witnesses say the fire spread faster than what would normally be anticipated. The cause of the fire has yet to be determined by local authorities. And now, Keanu Perez with the Big Screen Review.
To the big screen, our movie review from the AP Exchange. This was the highest revenue any Thanksgiving we could receive. From Wednesday to Sunday, according to Hollywood.com, Vampires, Secret Agents, and President Lincoln raised around a total of $290 million, with $64 million The conclusion of the Twilight Saga, Breaking Dawn Part 2, came in first again this week. In second was James Bond's Skyfall with $51 million, and in third was Lincoln with $34.1 million. In total, this Thanksgiving revenue had a jump of 25% compared to last year. The breaking holiday revenue is predicted to continue as upcoming releases such as The Hobbit, Life of Pi, Rise of the Guardians, and Parental Guidance are predicted to keep the office up. That's it with the Big Screen Review. Until next time, I'll see you at the ticket booth.
In sports, on Monday Night Football, the Carolina Panthers and the Philadelphia Eagles squared off in an exciting game with both teams moving the ball well. The Eagles had a great game on the ground, with Bryce Brown rushing for 178 yards and scoring 2 touchdowns. However, he lost 2 fumbles in the second half, while Cam Newton for the Carolina Panthers had a great night throwing for 2 touchdowns, as well as rushing for 2. The Carolina Panthers caused 3 turnovers in the second half, getting them the win 30-22. This brings the record to 3-8, while dropping the Eagles to 3-8. In local sports, the Texans played Saturday night, getting a win 59-57. That brought the record to 2-1. They have a game Wednesday night at 6 p.m. at St. Mary. And in weather, today we will see a high of 56 degrees and a low of 34 degrees. On Wednesday, we will see a high of 66 degrees and a low of 42 degrees. Today's broadcast was produced by Jessica Lee, Erica Calhoun, and Mark Mallory. You can follow us on ustream.tv/user/Texan News Service. Don't forget to tell your friends about us and become a fan of Texan TV News on Facebook. I am Winston Questenberry. Tune in tomorrow for the latest news from the Towson State University campus in Stephenville, Texas.